Certainly men find it difficult to understand women. Numerous books, papers, and websites have been written on the topic, but what about Sigma males? These men are the ones who seem to be in control. They're funny, smart, enigmatic, and always know how to make a lady blush. In other words, there are very few things that can make a Sigma male act against his will. These men are always unique, and their behavior is never predictable. They are the type of man who knows exactly who he is and what he wants out of life. They base their decisions and actions on personal principles and values rather than being influenced by peer pressure or trends. Women are attracted to this kind of person because they are rare, challenging, and always seem to be in control. 1. What's their secret? As every male knows, the pursuit is an essential part of the game, thus they never pursue women. Men crave the rush of getting the prize, while women want to be pursued. But what happens if you're tired of the game? Sigma guys prefer to let women approach them because they understand that pursuing them is a futile task. This just indicates that they are aware of the games that women play and choose not to participate in them, not that they are shy or indifferent. Women are used to being chased, so this often confuses them, but the Sigma man's approach turns their expectations upside down. The Sigma guy starts to attract a lot of women at this stage. Although he may give the impression that he doesn't care, the reality is that he just doesn't play games. For a Sigma, pursuing women is a waste of time and energy. Guys at the bottom of the hierarchy who are trying to persuade themselves or others of anything often use this strategy. Therefore, Sigma men focus on their own goals and desires rather than pursuing women to feel better about themselves. The attention of women is also drawn to this. This isn't to mean that Sigmas don't date or have girlfriends. They just prefer to be alone rather than spend their time on things for immature males and don't look for female praise. Secondly, they would not elevate women. Putting women on a pedestal, particularly when you've just met them, is one of the worst errors guys make. In reality, this only places you in a subservient position, giving the idea that you're the one chasing her and making every effort to get her favor, even if the traditional goal is to impress or interest them. Many guys behave in this way because they mistakenly believe that they are gallant or gentlemen, even if being polite and nice is completely appropriate. Women are designed to test you in this manner, so don't try too hard to get her favor. If you give in, she will own you as Sigma. When a man acknowledges the equality and differences of women, he does not elevate them. He treats people with courtesy, but he doesn't let them control his actions. A Sigma guy is an incredible challenge for any woman because of the perfect fusion of these two attributes. Though kind and considerate, he has the strength to stand up to a lady without being intimidated by her. When a male lion becomes charge of a pride in the animal kingdom, he is not required to constantly solicit the approval of the women in his new group or prove his worth. 3. They never seek praise or acceptance from women. Even though we are not lions, human guys nevertheless behave in accordance with many of the same primal desires as the other two types of men, alpha and beta. He is already considered the jungle's king. Because Sigma guys never allow anyone else to determine their value, they are very attractive to women who are attracted to men with strong personalities. Regardless of what any woman may believe, they are totally independent and self-assured. Women are acutely aware that seeking affirmation or acceptance from others is only a sign of neediness. Sigma guys have a strong sense of self-confidence that comes from understanding who they are and what they want, which is why they don't need anybody else to affirm their value. This doesn't mean that they are unpleasant or aloof. They don't ever utilize cliched pickup lines. Although they are not just corny, they often fail. Save them for the movies, or at the very least, don't use them at all in favor of cheesy pickup lines. Instead of using a prepared remark from a book, the greatest method to attract a lady is to be real and true. Women like to be honest from the start and can see straight through these lines. Although you don't have to tell her everything about yourself, you should refrain from saying anything that doesn't accurately represent who you are. Because they let their individuality show, Sigma guys are more appealing to women than any pickup line could possibly be. Corny pickup lines might make you look lovely at first, but they are quickly exposed as a facade, much like a bad suit. 5. They don't employ the victim card, which is a ploy to win over women's sympathy and attention. Women who are attracted to Sigmas don't find it effective, but beta males utilize it to go up in the dating scene. A Sigma never plays the victim when it comes to women. Instead, he focuses on improving himself and being the greatest guy he can be. He never places the blame for his flaws or failings on others, as doing so would only make him seem weak to women. He accepts responsibility for his own acts and always manages to bounce back from setbacks. The Sigma man is always trying to better himself and knows that the best way to achieve it is to take ownership of his life. His confidence and power attract women, and he never has to act like a victim to achieve what he wants. This does not imply that he is perfect. Sigma males are the true lone wolves that function outside of the pack mentality that governs conventional civilization in a world where beta guys play the victim and blindly follow the rules. They are strong, self-sufficient, and unafraid to choose their own course in life. Strength and independence are traits of Six Sigma men. They never use violence to settle disputes, especially when women are involved. All Sigma guys are the strong, silent kind of men who handle problems with their cunning rather than their strength, even if some men may try to impress women with their physical strength. Men from Sigma women are adept in influencing and persuading others with their words, using their intelligence and wit. They understand how to accomplish their objectives without resorting to violence. Because Sigma males are excellent communicators who can read others and comprehend their intentions, they can accomplish their goals without resorting to force, which is why women find them so attractive. Sigmas are skilled at utilizing emotional manipulation to accomplish their objectives without resorting to physical force. The Sigma male's secret weapon is to maintain composure under duress and never lose control. One certain way to end up in the friend zone is to be a yes guy around ladies. Despite its apparent simplicity, it's really rather difficult. When most men let their emotions rule their actions, things begin to spiral out of hand. Women want a man who is confident enough to express his own opinions and stand up for himself, rather than one who agrees with them all, since it would be like talking to a wall. A Sigma guy is not a dumb follower, rather, he is a powerful, autonomous thinker. He is capable of independent thought and decision-making. He is aware of when to push back and when to give up. Saying no doesn't mean you're a bad person or hard to get along with. Being adaptable is vital, but it's also critical to know when to assert your position. This is yet another quality in guys that appeals greatly to women. Saying yes to everything makes you look weak and unsure of yourself, as well as dull and uninteresting. Naturally, there may be times when you must grant her desires, but a Sigma is able to choose his fights wisely. He's good at keeping his balance. However, if a guy doesn't try too hard, it's one of the most unappealing things he can do, since it comes off as neediness and desperation, two things that are guaranteed to send any woman away. Being flexible while being aggressive is a charming feature in men that attracts women. Sigma guys never try too hard or come on too strong, they always play it cool. They just realize that trying too hard is often a major turn-off, so relax and take things easy. This is not to indicate that they are frightened of commitment. She will tell you that you don't have to push things. Instead, let things unfold organically, evaluate the circumstances, and approach when it's appropriate if she likes you. Sigma men are calm watchers who weigh all the facts before acting, whether they are with a woman or in business. Because of their reflective nature, they like playing the long game and may see things that others miss, giving you a big advantage in any situation. 9. They don't even try to fix them. A woman will only see you as controlling and manipulative if you try to heal her. Women don't require a guy to solve their issues. In fact, they often see this as a kind of control. They are more than capable of handling difficulties on their own. Simply being present for a lady is the finest way to show her support. Without trying to take charge or exert control, Sigma guys provide their empathy and assistance. Nobody wants to be told what to do or how to live their life by their spouse all the time. Women must be autonomous, but they also need assistance and direction. Other people find Sigmas so motivating because they are not the kind to meddle in another person's life to fix what's wrong. Rather, they wish to help others discover their own solutions. They don't text her often, despite the fact that communication is essential. It's human nature to want things that are out of reach, and it's particularly true for women because if you're constantly accessible, they will ultimately become bored and take you for granted. Although you may believe that Sigma guys are being hard to get, the truth is that they just respect their time and don't feel the need to phone or text often. Their actions usually speak louder than words, which is frequently what makes them so attractive to women, even if they may sometimes come off as aloof. Instead of using their phones as a crutch, Sigma guys utilize them as a tool. They are aware of when it's appropriate to text and call, but they also know when to put people on hold.